Looks like we're live. Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming. And what do I need to do here? I always got to do a little bit of setup first, so please bear with me. See that chat window in case there's anyone who turns up. And I got this flicker. You think you've got everything fixed, and I've just noticed I've got a flicker on my screen. So from this camera, big fat hand over it. I was just doing a little bit of research before going live, and seems to be a common problem. It could be to do with my lighting, that it's just having a problem with. My wife helped me just put a sheet up over the garage windows. Garage, if you're you've got a foreign pronunciation. In New Zealand we say garage, except probably in Auckland they probably say garage there. There's actually a few, let me just pour a coffee. This is the first coffee of the day. There was that flicker, sorry about that. Hopefully it won't be a problem. If it becomes a problem, I'll just stop the stream. First coffee of the day, and we can't make sense of the day or sound like we're making sense. We've had our coffee. So let's take a slug, and hopefully sanity will be restored. Oh, that's good. That's excellent. One sec. It's all good. Pretty sure my sound's coming through. If you do jump online, please feel free to drop a comment. Tell me if the sound's bad or if you can hear okay. The quality of the art, you can I can't necessarily change that bit. But I was gonna mention we have some colloquial words between North Island and the South Island. So maybe they say garage in Auckland, we say garage down here, Wellington. But in the North Island, if you go away to a holiday home, you book a batch. It's a small holiday home. But if you're in the South Island, in the far south, you say you're going to the crib. Crib. I mean, that's what babies sleep in, isn't it? Anyway, I was talking about the garage. Now I'm confused. We're off to an excellent start. The sound is clear. Hey, Selena. Thank you so much. Salima. Beg your pardon. It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining. From Canada. You probably say garage completely different there. Anyway, I was saying to my wife that the light, because I'm painting in the place where you park cars, the light from those windows, while fantastic for artwork, is puts a bit of a glare. I'm pointing at myself stupidly on the screen. That's okay. So anyway, let me just we'll turn off the transition, I think. So there's the picture we're going to be painting. At least not you, I will be. And I know a few have been following the series as I go through. We're up to episode 7. So that's episode 7. So 6 hours have been done on this painting already. You go, where have they gone? Well, probably 3 hours we're in chatting. I did lose some time. A stream died halfway through. I normally stream for an hour, so don't feel you need to stick around, Salima, because it'll goes for a while. But there was quite a bit of work in blocking in the tree line, and then building up these rocks. And I've said it a number of episodes, I'll say it again, the particular type of paper is very grippy, the pastel mat. You cannot feel it. It doesn't feel like a rough surface. It feels, it's not smooth, but it's not like sandpaper. And so as you put on the pastel, normally in pastel you're only doing little marks anyway, not great big broad brush strokes. And so it actually takes time to build up those layers. The great thing is we don't have to worry about them drying, so that's fantastic. And from a distance, 100 meters or so, the painting's looking quite good. Let's put this mouse over here. So, I said in the comment, or the intro, the spiel. Words are hard. I said in the spiel I want to try and finish some of this rock today. But I put that away, I need to look at it. 6 hours. Thank you, Salima. Yes, so 6 hours just to get to here. A painting normally of this size, 50 by 70 centimeters. Please don't ask me to convert that to inches. A painting of this size will normally take me 20 hours. A little bit more if I've got a lot of detail in the face. But in this particular one, once we get to the skin tones, that should be fine. Thank you, Salima. It's a painting of my wife. She did look amazing that day. I wonder what happened to that dress. I don't know. Now, on the last episode, I pulled out, normally I get these in like sets of 3. So this is the ochres. So this is the base ochre. Make sure I'm saying that right. Yep. So this is what's called the pure color, the mid-tone. This is a shade. Oop, a little bit too high. That's a shade. And then that's the tint where it's had a bit of white included. So yellow ochre. And I had just started putting some ochre around the rocks because there's always a bit of green on. Is there always a bit of green? Sometimes there's some green. Let's not be dogmatic. Now I did some rocks recently off a waterfall that Helen was kindly sitting on. She wasn't sitting on the waterfall, she was sitting by the waterfall. It's great. I want. Anyway, I used ochre on the rocks as the sun was just one of those golden hour type moments where the light was perfect, and the rock was actually quite creamy, but with the sunlight on it, it went very warm. So I warmed up those rocks, and then I thought, oh, that's really nice with the ochre. So I just want to pull it into here again. I think I've just got to learn how to set up a mixtape, a legal mixtape, some background music while I'm painting, because what tends to happen is I pause regularly anyway. Color theory. Yeah. That flicker. Sorry about that flicker. Get that fixed. Not sure why. It's only just happened. Color theory. It's fantastic. So that's the real. You're getting into the science of painting when you understand color theory. All I've got, chatting with Salima, but for those who are viewing afterwards, I've mentioned this before. This is from my local paint shop. So Resine make house paints in New Zealand, and they put out this colour wheel. It was only $5. You go to an art shop, they're really expensive. So try and get one from your local paint store. But you've got your complementaries, and then what do we got? Triadics, splits. And I'm like, you know what? What I want to know is just what colours are complementary, and which ones work well. You know, which ones play nicely together. So, and often in pastel, you do tend to get shades of a colour. So all your pastel, I just showed you the ochres, but the same happens with pastel sticks or pastel pencils. You're getting a shade of each colour because pastel's typically opaque and therefore it does blend, but not like paint. It's not like you're getting some white titanium and mixing it in, unless you're using pan pastels, and then you can do that. So it's a contradictory thing, but there's some fantastic videos online about colour theory, and I've watched some of them too, and then I went, you know what? I just want to paint. It's like, I'm gonna work it out. It's gonna be okay. Just gonna work it out as I go. It's kind of like life, isn't it? Sort of, you just sit back and read a book about living, you're not really living. You gotta get out of your chair and do something. So I'm going to put these ochres in, and thank you so much for all your comments too, Salima. It's really helpful. Good for the channel. That flicker. Try not to think about it, David. Think about the painting. Think about the painting. So I've actually just put up a bunch of videos, or about to put up a bunch of videos. I've put up one so far about this PC that I've built in order to do streaming, and I thought I had conquered everything, and I don't think it's actually the PC's problem. I think there's using a hub for my camera, and there's probably just too many USBs plugged into that hub. It's saying, stop it, can't breathe. It's me to take some out. Anyway, I'm just spreading this sort of warm colour around, because the day I took this photo was quite a overcast day, that's not bad for photography actually. Get some really good shots from overcast. We always want to go out when it's blue sky. I've decided I want to warm up the painting, so in the light I will put more yellow into Helen's skin tone. She was probably getting a bit cold there, and I can see a bit of blues in her arm. And in order for that to make sense, I just need to get more warmth into the rocks. That's what we'll try and do. And ideally, greeny ochre. Ideally, that's what's going to happen. What was I saying? So I just put up some videos of me building this PC, and not gloating, but I thought I'd actually nailed it, and was going to find specimen, and of course today I have problems, and naturally I don't know why it is, but compared to my art videos, if I do one on Da Vinci, or some art history, or how to do the golden spiral, the Fibonacci sequence in PowerPoint, and I get quite a lot of views on, well, for my channel I get a lot of views. Worse on LinkedIn, but it's okay. The actual art, everyone's sort of caught up a little bit in AI art at the moment. Now, once we all lose our jobs to the robots, that's okay. We'll all take up painting, right? And then people come to my channel and they'll go, oh, okay, that's what I need to do. So I'm really just thinking ahead, you see, with this channel. So once everyone's unemployed, they'll go, well, what do I do with my life? Oh, I might as well go painting. And they'll go, oh, is there anything on YouTube about how to easily do painting? Can't afford the materials anymore, but what do we got? Here I'll be. That's my master plan. I am going to bring some more of that turquoise back into here. I'm going to have some coffee, because it hasn't fully kicked in yet. Here's better. Now last week dropped in some magenta, but I'm just going to change some of my reds. It went with a bit of magenta. Sometimes when I see a colour, it doesn't necessarily translate well in my head. Like I often fiddle around with this set of colours. Let's try and get that where it's a decent shot. Out the base. There we go. So a violet. And I've got a violet tint. There's another but the violets are they're kind of in my head they should work, but when I put them on down the paper, they don't always do what I thought they were going to do. So as I'm doing the applicating, I tried to get in shot. Let's just adjust the camera a little bit. Let's see what I got here. Yes. The AI takes over. It was actually an article I read about someone saying, oh, you've got to have kill switches on AI because they're going to get smarter than us. Then go out. Okay, so sitting here, let's move my mouse away. And now we've got more light problems because I've got my blinds open. Because now I put covers over the garage windows, it's like, oh, I need some more light in. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes, applicators. So the little applicator, I'm using really a rectangular one because I just like the edges, and the corners are very good for detail. But you just sort of slide it across the pan and just pick up the pastel pigment along the corner. Now that's not a lot of pigment, it's very fine. And I need to bring my picture up again so I can see what I'm doing. Going down that line. Yep. So just how it works with the applicator is it'll just kind of break the pigment, and you get slightly irregular lines, and as you use up the pigment, then it becomes concave. You'll only get it on the edges, not a full straight line. You sort of got to work your way around the pan to get a full straight line. Just give it a flick. Okay. Just be brave. What's the worst that can happen? You know, the worst that can happen is you put down some... Worst that can happen is that you try and replicate this as a photo, and you realize that, you know, you've missed something in the rocks. Oh no, I haven't done it exactly as it was, and now I'm disappointed in myself. And it's like, well, no, that's the worst that can happen. But if you're not following exactly the you're just trying to get a representation of what's going on, then that's okay. So they don't know, not unless they come and watch the video and go, hey, that doesn't look like, that bit of rock there doesn't look like what I can see over there. It's like, well, that's why I put it as a little picture, so you can't really tell, right? Yeah, all good. And if the what am I trying to say here? You can always put take off the pastel, put a bit more on. No worries. Down there. This is just a blue. I can drop a bit of red in there as well for a bit of visual interest and make it a bit more pleasing to someone. It's going to come up. So I think this is, I'm still just, even in this episode, I'm just still blocking in this rock. And it's taken a long time. Got a saying here in New Zealand, good things take time. You can't rush it. Well, you can rush it. You can rush everything in life. You know, want to get it done quick. But there's a price to pay normally for quickness. You know, if we approach life like rocket science, maybe we would bit more cautious, although rockets blow up all the time as well, so maybe that's a bad analogy. Don't use that analogy in your life, okay? Bad one. Oh, I just realised I hit on the screen. Painting is... Yes, that's exactly right. Selima. It's painting, not a photo. Although, I mean, lots of people do very realistic. Realism is a genre in itself. And, I mean, people use AI for that now. On social media, so many people... it's like the new makeup. Just body sculpt yourself and face sculpt yourself with AI. Problem is if you have a face-to-face meeting, now you've got to have an AI avatar to sort of... Oh dear, that blinking isn't great. Yeah. What can I do to fix that? Can't fix it during the stream. Focus on just painting, David. Now, anyone who is actually following the journey there's been plenty of technical hitches along the way. And happy accidents, as Bob Ross might say. Didn't feel very happy at the time. So I'm just blocking in this this rock because it's just going to take time to get it, and the more that you just keep adding in some marks, the more it will come to life, and you will get happier with your work. But if you rush it and go, oh yeah, that'll do, that works if you really... I think that works better with the you can do it pan pastels, but it's very representative then, and the whole piece will come together that way. But that's not my skill set at present, not what I'm focusing on. I'm trying to learn how to play with pan pastel and become really good at it. Be nice. And often in art, you're training your eyes. Seems to be what's happening. Some to this. Rocks over here. And so I've got this sort of... I didn't intend to start getting into these dark blue, sort of shadowy things. I have learnt with painting that once you start, you should just go with your intuition. It's okay. You set out to do something and you find you're caught up in something else. It's okay. Read in there. Get any? after all, it's your kind of painting, and you can paint by numbers. Go, you know, I'm going to just do here today and do the arm tomorrow, and but right now on these particular rocks, what I want, and not necessarily what I'll get. Right, actually, swapping out that is I'm trying to bring some of these colours across and unify my painting. Oh dear, it's flickering. I want to add the detail later. Sometimes I can't help. It's in there. Okay, that needs clean. Good old kitchen towel. Eventually your applicator becomes a bit saturated with pigment. And when that happens, you'll get mud. So paper towel seems to be the standard way to clean these things. They last a reasonable time. This one's just, I'm just looking at it now, it's starting to get a bit of wear. But that wear can be quite good as you lose little bits of the sponge. You'll just get variation in your marks. So I've got a bunch of rocks. I said I would start working on. Now in these rocks there's a ton of variation of colour shapes, so I've just gone with the finger shaped. This coffee's going cold. Wow. The finger shape, I don't use it very often. But I thought maybe it might simulate some rocks. We're going to end up color come and get it onto the wow. Just be a little saturated on the paper there. Okay, so we've got a bunch of river rocks. They're all sort of over here. And what's going to have to happen is I'm going to need to put up a whole bunch of rocks. different colours in there. I'm not loving this. I'm not loving it. So I'll go back to this one. Basic sort of colours in there. And a lot of the rocks, there's a lot of light hitting them. So I'll need to go in with some interesting colours. I can see ochres, and there's some orange. If I got orange. This might be. It's deep orange. Sort of, I know how to describe rocks. A lot of blue going on in there, so I'm fiddling around with my turquoise. Thinking about the direction of the rocks. It's a big jumble. Oh, thank you. Hey, it's Joanna. How fantastic. How lovely to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I haven't seen you for a while. And not because I don't look for you. I haven't seen you on LinkedIn. These rocks are gonna they need to be a lot bigger. Not that far away. So we'll embed those down into the river. I know that I'll go over with a pastel pencil, but it's in there. Maybe I wouldn't hurt to have some of that paper showing through. I'm looking at a rock that's actually down in this part of the painting. As the water goes over it, it's very much that colour. A bit of correction there. And yeah, so sorry, well, I'm kind of doing a lot of because I'm just thinking it through as I do the painting. See, there I go again. Depth and definitely want and And so now, bottom of these rocks over here, it's just filthy. Clean that up. Bottom of these rocks need to be lighter. Lighter at the bottom, darker at the top. And I'd only block them in to go, well, where do they belong? And I was testing out my theory that using turquoise for rocks might be quite a good thing, because the turquoise has got a bluey grey to it. At least my shades of turquoise have got bluey grey. Sorry about the flicker, Joanna. I don't know what's wrong with my camera today. Come back and look at the recording afterwards. See what went wrong. Remember that the rocks, some direction on them. We're gonna, that's why I don't need to worry too much about the rocks over here. This one, they can be turquoise as well. Bunch in. It looks like they straight at ink. I want to get the reflections of that river. I just want the river to pull down these greens, so something like, where's a really dark green? This is chromium. No, this is phthalo green. So got this. Think about it, David. The dark green is going to go dark is, and then from the rock is turquoise. I want a turquoise shadow in the water, right? And the water's not running too swift for these rocks. Is gonna, because water is just reflection, right? It's clear. I mean, glass of water is clear. Oh, thank you, Salima. Live streams always have. I did not know that. It's the first time I've noticed it on my stream. So I'm just responding to Salima's comment. Don't worry about flickers, David. Live streams always have those. Bothers me. Bothers me. So the water though, it's going to be. Let's get some hazy sort of watery stuff, which means I need dark edges coming along these rocks. So just delineate that moment. It's quite a green. It's a very green around the base of those rocks too. That'll be interesting to try and get the water, because ideally the water is running quite swiftly around here, and I'll just see how those rocks are gonna bigger. No, they don't look like rocks. They'll look like rocks later. I mean, this didn't look like a rock to begin with. But if I tell you it's a rock, then you'll go, oh, that's a nice rock, David. Well done. Well done. What has he been doing? Oh, that's beautiful. That is exactly what I needed to cheer me up. Bit of yellow ochre to be the sun on that rock. Now if the sun is on that bit of the rock, sure as heck is going to be over here. Suddenly my whole day has brightened up. Let's just get some of that in there. As we go down the rock, it will turn into a different ochre. Blend a little bit, and that means this is over here. Now we've got rocks. Okay. Yes. Now I can see them popping out, and I couldn't before, and it was frustrating. I don't know. Yeah. Joanna's who popped into the stream. I don't know if you're still here, but is a fantastic pastelist. Really worked hard at her medium, and that's how you get good, is by experimenting and trying things out. When I first saw Joanna's paintings, they were quite dark and just like drawings of trees with no leaves, and but then the colour came in, and the more she worked that picture she had in her mind, the colours just exploded. Often quite a restrained palette, so there might be purples or blues, because there were a lot of night scenes going on. But to you see someone grow in their art, it's just beautiful to watch, and it came from experimenting. So I've been following her for 2 years now, but it's joyful to watch. And I think the art, the act of creating, it doesn't matter what someone's doing. I've watched videos where people they're showing how to do a building line. You get 20 minutes of how to tie knots and what have you. You come away and you go, that's fantastic, because of their enthusiasm for the subject. And when someone gets enthused about what they're doing, it's a beautiful thing. And then because you get enthused about it as well and want to try. I watched a lot of YouTube videos about art. The people who really stuck with me were those who talked with joy. I'm quite a, I've got one of those voices that'll probably put you to sleep. So if you've snoozed off, that's fine. Gain value from this video. But my voice is pretty even, but apart from the terrible Kiwi accent. But we tend to talk quite flat over here anyway. There's not a lot of excitement in a Kiwi's voice. Cynicism, maybe, sarcasm, bit of joking around, but we're a pretty conservative bunch. It's kind of a little rock in there. I just knew once I got this gold ochre going, happy. And sure enough, and I'm going to put this in her skin, so we'll have the gold. Oh yeah, please go have a look at Joanna's work, Salima. It's she says that I feel creative expression is the reflection of the phases the creator is going through. I see Joanna's work. Yeah, it's see someone enjoy what they're doing. It's infectious. I guess that's why dancing videos and singing videos are so popular on YouTube. Want some energy in our lives. Okay. This again. Come on. If you switch from one color to another hands, you can absolutely do that. You'll pick up the other color. You know, both colors will come through. That's okay if you know what you're doing. Fortunately, I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, and so I can have happy accidents. I go, oh, actually that worked. I'll do that again. Rocks. And the rocks kind of peter out. But this is due for a clean. I'd have to give it a fresh sponge. And I may end up what? So some of these little marks I'm making. See if I can zoom in. A moment. Let me see if I can zoom in. I'm making some little marks. Oh, that's really sweet. You're awesome, David. You inspire me to try some rocks here. You'll do better rocks than those ones. Stick with a big main rock. The rocks I did in the waterfall, I don't actually know if I posted the full picture of that. I did one of Helen in a waterfall, by a waterfall, and she's sitting on a rock, and I was so happy with the rocks. It was like fantastic. But let me just see if I can zoom in. Oh, that is actually looking not so bad on the vid. I'm happy with that. We want a nice colourful rock. So, in. And can we just pan around a bit more? Oop. Go. Zoom in a bit. Oh, going the wrong way. A bit more. Okay. So, I'm just doing some little marks. And you go, oh, I can't even see that. And actually, that's the point, is that lots of little marks will make up the picture. And I know Salima was talking about color theory before, and I should probably learn it for, see my reference photo. Here we go. I should probably learn more about it, because as your the various colors that you put next to each other is what's going to make the painting work. You can do complementaries, or you can do complete opposites. You'll get different effects depending on what you're going for. What's this colour? Bright yellow. I'm too scared to use that one. More for a phthalo green tint. Let's try this. It's not really what I wanted. And so using the edge of the applicator, you can get some really nice little things going on. The best artist I've seen, or the most enthused artist, always mention him as Les Darlow, English guy. Fantastic what he does. So confident. Whereas you'll see me and go, come on, put something down. What's the matter? Scared? Like, well, yes I am. Let's just zoom out again. I can't see what I'm. So, but anyway, we've got this magenta's sort of going down here. It looks like a spider hit the rocks. Oh, got my little thirds. It'll go away in a sec. Here we go. Spider hit the rocks right there. We'll get rid of him. Way out. And can we pan around again? But we've got some warmth. Got a lot of colour in those rocks, and that'll get toned back a bit. All right, so don't go, oh, he's just gone nuts on those rocks. Well, yes, but I'm pretty happy with it, because what's happening is now I'm getting depth happening over here in the rock, and the eye starts going, oh yeah, so that's the shape of the rock, and there's this sort of depth thing going on here. I just need to get, there must have been a sort of a scooped out bit of the rock that Helen was sitting on, and I want to get that more. I've got to get some more red back into this rock, but the ochres have just sort of been fantastic. Just started on getting these rocks over here, and some practicing doing some reflections into the water, so that's going to be all good. I think next stream I'll work on the stream, right? I've got to get some of the water going here, and get these rocks settled into the water, decide exactly where my water line is going to be. I don't want them right up against this rock like they are in the reference photo. I want this to be a hero piece, so it just stands out in the landscape, but the eye should track from Helen down this way. And if you ever go and watch any of or look at Joanna Renee's pastel paintings, you'll often see she's a proper artist, and she's got worked out where to take the eye. Whereas a lot of my art is I do dances, and I'm just looking to capture the emotion and get them in the golden spirals, so the composition is aesthetically pleasing, and I'm going for the emotion, not the and that is the story, rather than where to take the eye, because when you're doing faces, your eye will go all around the face anyway. Eyes, nose, lips, back to eyes. But this one with Helen looking that way, I also need to get some light or something happening up here in the painting. And because it's like, what is she looking at? Well, what she was looking at was a bridge that sort of went over the top, old wooden railway bridge, and I'd cropped that out of the photo because it was like, well, that's just unnecessary information. It doesn't add to this story. It's like she's on a rock, What's she doing on the rock in a party dress in a river? Where's the party? You know. But I'm happy with progress today, so that is fantastic, and I'd like to thank very, very much Salima and Joanna for watching along while I painted. I really appreciate your company, and it makes a difference to the stream as well. I know this will never be a big stream until, as I said to Salima, the AI revolution comes along and everyone's lost their jobs and they all want to go painting, and then this will fit in quite nicely. But until that day comes, we will just carry on trying to finish this painting. And so there's my hour. Thank you so much for coming along. And if you're watching this after the event, I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun, and I had a great coffee, and I'm going to go get number 2. I need another coffee. Maybe some chocolate. Maybe go buy Helen some chocolate cake. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, so let's how do I shut this down? I always get a bit stuck on the